Chanakka, Ahshar. Happy Hanukkah to all of you. All right, we are here at the closing of the Hanukkah celebration, 8 days of dedication to the Most High, as well as dedicating this place of worship, of communion, this place of assembly that the Lord has given unto. I'm very thankful that we could come together, as a body, as a nation. Okay, I know that that we, as the people of the church, and the church is not of dwell. The Most High does not dwell in buildings made by a man's hands. That is in the midst of Israel. We all can't fit in your living room, right? Big house, right? So we need a place to assemble. So the Most High has given us and blessed us to have that vision, have that understanding that the house must be built and we must assemble there as a nation. This decree was given unto us in the time of King Darius. Okay, when we assembled and built, and we rebuilt a temple, a place of assembly, that we are to send up the oblations to the Most High, our prayers and our sacrifices in the midst, because this is where the Father, his way he wants us to be. For us to be in what is called a congregation. And we're going to read about it in the scriptures, okay? We have to congregate. What does it mean to congregate? It means to gather, all right? Another word that means gather. To congregate, convocate, both mean to gather. Colossians 3, verse 17, Most High, in the name of Ahshar Chanakka.
Chapter 3, verse 17. Word or deed, do all in the name of Ahshar Chanakka, and the Father by him.
This is the Most High, in the name of Ahshar Chanakka, for his mercy truly endured forever. Give me Psalms 149. And 1.
The book of Psalms, chapter 149. Praise ye the Most High.
Right.
Sing unto the Most High a new song.
Right.
And his praise in the congregation.
What?
In the congregation.
And his praise is in the congregation. Read on.
Of saints.
Of saints. So his praise is to be in the congregation of the saints. Who are the saints? Right. We are the saints. Right. But his praise needs to be where the saints are coming together. Okay. This is order from the Most High. Okay. That we come together no matter what. All right. That we find a way to congregate. We find a place. We find a means. The Most High has been gracious to us to give us this place. So we dedicate this place to the Most High, yeah. All right. This place is not for any unlawful activity, right? No unrighteousness in this place. Okay? This place is dedicated to the Most High, yeah. So when you come in here, it's a place of refuge, right? You can come out of the world for a moment. Outside, the world is waiting on you, right? All that wickedness is right outside the door, waiting for you to come back, right? But when you come here, we are to speak the words of the Most High. We are to move in that spirit that is holy unto the Father. Okay, that is the congregation of the saints. Read that again.
The book of Psalms, chapter 149, verse 1. Praise ye the Most High. New song. And his praise in the congregation of saints.
Right, and his praise in the congregation of saints. So we're going to stay in the congregation of the saints. Come? All right, that's where the Father where he wants us to be. Okay? He doesn't want us to leave off from this, because this is part of our righteousness. This is where we learn brotherhood, right? This is where we learn to dwell together as a body. Let me get
The book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 24.
Mm-hmm. Read.
Hebrews and to good work.
Right?
The assembling of ourselves together.
That we don't forget to assemble. We have to assemble. Don't forsake the assembly. What does it mean to forsake? What does it mean to forsake? What am I doing? Away with something, you don't deal with it no more. That's what it means to forsake. I mean, I don't deal with you no more. I left you. I want no parts of you. Right? Right. When the Father said, forefathers prayed for the Father to please don't forsake us. That means what? We want the Most High to be with us. Because if he forsake us, then what? He is not around. Out. Okay. So the scripture is saying, take the assembly. We cannot. This world we do. All right? Trust me, that gap will get filled up real quick. The Sabbath day, that thing will get filled up so fast you will never believe. Right? And it'll be and Satan would have you believe that whatever you dealing with is really important and has to be done now. Job, and he's good at what he does. All right. The devil, word devil means what? Evil. Deceive you into believing whatever that you think you should be doing on the Sabbath is the most important thing in the world. Get done, everything's going to explode. Right? You're not going to make it. Tired. This is according to the law. Get assembled with the brethren. Now, if you're not assembled with us, hopefully you someplace assembled with some brethren somewhere. All right? Because we're not saying that it got to be here, but he better be assembling somewhere. It's not a matter of, like you may or may not go to the holiday party at your job. Right? That's your decision to make. There's no law saying that you need to go. Okay? But here, this is code, this is laws, this is commandment for us to be here at this time in this place. All right, read on.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 25.
Come on.
Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another.
Right, as the manner of some. Some people what? Have forsaken it. He's saying you don't forsake it as the manner of some have. Some people are going to forsake the assembly. It was always like that. There's always going to be some doing what ought not to be done. It's never that everybody's going to do what's righteous. If you think that, if you're looking for everybody to follow what you're doing, you're looking in the wrong direction. When it comes to the righteousness, it's going to be few and far between. That's going to do this work, that's willing to do this work. Okay, read on.
And so much the more as you see the day approaching.
And now you see prophecies coming to pass. You see what's going on in a nation that we're living in America. You see what's going on in the politics. You see what's going on in the natural disasters. You see what's going on everywhere. The Most High is showing his vengeance. When you see these things, then you got to be, well, I got to assemble more. All right, I got to turn up my spirit of assembly. Okay, read on.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 26. For if we sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sins.
Right. Well, now if we sin willfully, I mean, we make a decision. I mean, I ain't going. Yeah, I know I don't feel like it. Right. My foot hurt. My eye hurt. Back of my neck. Something. Right. You know, make up some sort of excuse. I say, because of this, I'm not going. Okay. Understand that you sinning. Let's prove that you sinning. Give me Leviticus 23rd chapter. Leviticus 23rd chapter and the first verse.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 1.
Come on.
And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel.
Come on.
And say unto them,
what do you say
concerning the feast of the Most High.
Concerning what?
The feast of the Most High.
Oh, talk to them about the feast of the Most High. What are you going to say about the feast? Read on.
Which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocation.
With ye shall proclaim. What does it mean to proclaim something? Declare, right? You got to establish it. What are you establishing? That what? These are holy convocations. What does the word convocation mean? Gathering. To convocate means to gather. Right? If you look up the word convocate, it's going to tell you to gather. So we have to proclaim that these are convocations. We have to come together. Okay? This is what the Most High is commanding us to do. So when you come together on these high holy days, you might have a good time, right? But that's a byproduct of you keeping the law, statute, commandments. But you're not just coming here just because the food is good, okay? You got to come here, or you got a rematch on the spades game or something, right? That needs to get handled, right? You are here because it is the law, statute, commandments of the Father to be here. We are all here driven by commandment to be here. But remember what the Father told us about the commandments. He told us that the commandments are not grievous, come? So he gave us commandment, and within keeping the commandment, we enjoying the commandments of the Most High. All right? We're enjoying the commandments. We're enjoying the congregation of the saints, as is written in the Word. We're enjoying the praise. We're enjoying everything that the Father has given unto us, because He didn't give us a law that's gonna be a dreadful law. The law is we benefit from the law. We are the beneficiaries of the law. Okay. Scriptures say, "He that sinneth, he sinneth against his own self." Right? When you break the Most High's commandments, you hurting yourself. All right? You ain't hurting Him. You're hurting yourself, because the commandments is there for you. Okay. But these are things, the concepts we have to understand when coming into these high holy days and understanding the level of importance it is. Give me Zephaniah 2 verse 1. Zephaniah 2 verse 1.
The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourself together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
Read.
Before the decree bring forth.
Come on.
Before the day past has the chaff.
Come on.
Before the fierce anger of the Most High come upon you.
Right. He said, gather together before the fierce anger come upon you from the Most High. So right now we're being order to gather together before we anger the Most High in our separation. Okay, so we have to gather. Okay, the scriptures all is giving us clear understanding that it's spiritual for us to come together, especially as one mind, one place, praising one God. Okay, with the same mentality. That's also important. Because you can physically be in a gathering of people, but now you got to be mentally all on the same page, spiritually all on the same page. Okay, speaking the same thing as the scripture says. Okay, because you just all standing. You go to the mall, you gather with a bunch of people, right? But you're not with them. You're not thinking what they thinking. You're amongst them, but you're not with them. Okay, there's a big difference being amongst and being with. You know what I mean? You could be among different areas, different groups. Some of you go to work, you're among your co-workers. Right? You ain't with them though, because y'all ain't moving in the same spirit. But I'm among y'all. You know, I gotta be here. I gotta do what I gotta do. All right, but I ain't with you. You know what I mean? And that's a big difference that we understand. We are with, each other. We are with keeping the commandments of the Most High. This is why we here. We all here for the same reason, right? To show ourselves faithful unto the Most High, yeah. Right? If you're here for another reason, you need to change the reason. Okay? You're here to show yourself faithful. All right? We keep the commandments through faith, right? Not through fear, because nobody's gonna come in. Nobody's gonna come to your house, pull you out your bed. What you doing there? Why you at the service? Right? Drape you up and bring you down to the service. Nobody's gonna do that. Either we see you, we say shalom. We don't see you, we go, I don't know who he's at. He ain't here. He ain't called me. He called you. He called me. That's about it. We don't worry about that. Okay? Because it's a free will. Right? It's a free will. The Most High wants us to come to Him willingly. Right? Not through the eye service of man, but willingly. All right. So we all here gathered this time in this place to enjoy this feast. What we're celebrating tonight is the last day of the Feast of Dedication. Okay. So we're gonna briefly go over the Feast of Dedication. We're gonna give a overview. Okay. See what everybody remembers from the first day. As we went through it in more detail in the first day. Okay. But let's start out with the Book of Maccabees. In First Maccabees, 4th chapter, and the 37th verse.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 37. Upon this, all the hosts assembled themselves together and went up into Mount Sion. And when they saw the sanctuary desolate and the altar profaned and the gates burned up and shrubs growing in the courts.
So now, why was the temple in this condition? What happened to our sanctuary, our place of assembly? Who destroyed it? Who are the Greeks? What biblical nation is the Greeks? Idumea. All right. You're just gonna pull. Who? Which is Edom, which is the father. Who's the father of Edom?
Esau.
All right. So you got Esau, which became Edom, is also known as Idumea, right? They rose up Roman Empire under Alexander the Great. You learned about Alexander the Great in school. First of the Caucasian to raise up an army. The King Darius was king over what? What people? The Persian, the Medes, right? Right? Like, the Persians from like today, they would be like people over there in Turkey and stuff like that, right? Iran, right? Those were Persians. Okay, so the Persians, at once, some of them know they're Persians. They'll admit that they're Persians because they know their history. Okay, that was their empire. Alexander the Greek took down the Persians. In the Persian Empire, the Persians allowed us to do something. Let's see who's doing it, who knows their history. Who had us before the Persians? Down. The Babylonians. Just destroyed our temple. The Persians came in and said, man, y'all can go build our temple. We don't care as long as you pay your taxes. Right? Like this, you pay your taxes. You got a permit? That's it. You got a permit for that? And they come out and tell us, do we have a permit? It's all good. What you doing? Felt like they was empowered anyway. You ain't gonna do nothing anyway. About this God that you guys talk about, right? They didn't respect it, so what? They didn't care. So they allowed us to rebuild our place of worship, which was good for the nation. But then the Greeks come into play. First under Alexander the Greek. Then who took Alexander the Greek's position? What was his name? That's right, Antiochus Epiphanes came up after Alexander the Greek. And when he took power, things really got wicked. All right, he turned up the wickedness to the max. All right, he hit that wicked switch, and it was on. He said the scriptures say evils was multiplied in the earth under Antiochus Epiphanes. And when Antiochus Epiphanes took power, he made sure that would stop keeping these commandments. That was part of his tenure or his administration, as they say today, right? His administration said, let's stop these Jews from keeping the commandments, and that all should be one people and have one religion, right? Sounds familiar, doesn't it? I think they call that Christianity today, right? That we all be Christians, right? Believing on some fake Jesus, Jesus Christ superstar, all right? So we coming out of that, but understand the history, all right? So Judas Maccabees and who's Judas Maccabees? What tribe is he from? Remember? Right, the true tribe of Levi, right? Who was his father? Who's Judas's father? Who remembers his father's name? He's the one that started the revolt. Who started the revolt? What's his name? Zion.
His name is Matthias.
That's right, Matthias is his name. Matthias rose up against this oppression, preventing us from keeping our Sabbaths. They literally used to be in front of where our sanctuary was. If they caught us trying to go up in the sanctuary, they would kill us. It was forbidden ground for us to walk up in the sanctuary. Okay. So Matthias rose up, and his sons, because he had many sons, and they were powerful, strong men, right? And one in particular of his sons, Judas Maccabees. He took on Matthias's work and led his men to victory over the battalions of the Greeks. Right, one battalion was called the battalion of Georgius, right, and the other one was Lysias, and they had much more men than us. It was 10,000 versus 65,000. And the 10,000 of Israel sent them 65,000 of those Edomites to flight. They had to go running from the 10,000. Okay. In so much they went and got a couple more thousand and thought that was going to help, and that didn't help them either. So they said, man, forget this. These men are too manly. Okay. So right here we're reading as we defeated Lysias, the last battalion, And now we're back in our temple, and we're coming to check it out. We made it back to our temple. And when we got back to our temple, we noticed that what? It was desecrated. That it was torn down. That it was full of shrubs. Right? That it wasn't being no caretaking was being done. Because remember, our place of refuge, our sanctuary was always meticulously taken care of. Okay? They had certain families of the Levites. Who remembers which family of the Levites was in charge of taking care of the holy vessels? Who remembers that? All these Levites here. Y'all must be scholars that were Levites. Right? Which family took care of the holy vessels? Okay, I got some homework to do here. Okay. Which family took care of the tents? Could you name one of the families of the Levites? Anyone? None of the families? Kohath? The Kohathites, right? What about, what's that?
Mari.
Yeah. Right? What I thought you pronounce it? Merari?
Yeah.
Right? And then you also had the Goshenites, the Gorshites. Let me see here.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. So these were the families that their job was meticulous to take care of the sanctuary's needs. So the sanctuary was always well prepared, well taken care of. So for them to see the sanctuary in the state that it was in, it was heartbreaking. Because they know they sanctuary was always immaculate. Right? Now they got shrubs growing out through the ground. All right, read on.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 38. And when they saw the sanctuary desolate,
right,
and the altar profaned,
come on,
and the gates burned up,
read,
and the shrubs growing in the courts,
read on,
as in a forest, or in one of the mountains, yea, and the priest's chambers pulled down.
The priest's chambers was pulled down.
They rent their clothes and made great lamentation.
Right, they cried. Right, they were so heartbroken that they cried when they saw the temple in this condition. Read on.
And cast ashes upon their heads.
And they lamented unto the Most High. This is something that we did when we was in anguish. We would put ashes upon our heads and lament to the Father. We would put on sackcloth. This is a clothing of mourning to beseech the Most High of mercy. Okay? So in a way, we would grovel before the Father. We would lay out. He said the men would lay flat on their faces towards the Father. Right? Beseeching the Father of mercy. Read on.
Verse 40. And fell down flat to the ground,
right,
upon their faces.
Right, read on.
And blew an alarm with the trumpets and cried toward heaven.
Right.
Then Judas appointed certain men to fight against those that were in the fortress.
Right, so there was a couple people in the midst of the temple still holding a little camp in there. Judas appointed some men to get rid of these men. Okay. Read on.
Sanctuary.
Until he cleansed it from the presence of these nations in our sanctuary. You don't have other people in here. Right? Because we cleansed this place of all other nations. All right. We kept it, we kept it sanctified, which means what? Set apart. Okay. When you leave here, it's not set apart. You need to go someplace where things are set apart. Okay. So this is that time to come in a set apart environment where it's not a free fall. You can't pay your way through this door. Okay. You got to be Israelite born, con? You got to be of the 12 tribes of Israel to come through this door. Okay. Right. The nations are not welcome. Anybody understand that? Because this place is set apart. It's a place of refuge. Read on.
Verse 42.
Come on.
So he chose priests of blameless conversation. Such had pleasure in the law.
Such as what?
Had pleasure in the law.
Why? So these were holy men. Such had pleasure in the law. They didn't just know the law. They enjoyed the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. All right. They couldn't wait to go into the word of the Father and to be edified by the wisdom and the knowledge and understanding of the scriptures. These are the type of men that was chosen. Okay. Do we have that type of men in here? Those that love the word of the Most High? By show of hands? All right. Everybody's hands should go up. All right. Because these are the type of men that was used to what? Cleanse the sanctuary. All right. Read on.
Verse 43. Who cleansed the sanctuary and bare out the defiled stones.
There it goes. They cleansed the sanctuary and they bared out the defiled stones. Everything that what? The heathen was sacrificing swine's flesh. Now we had to throw the whole stone out. You can't clean that off. Just throw the whole thing out. Start over from scratch. Right? So we had to get rid of our altars and everything, but they had swine's flesh on our altar and everything. Okay. Read on.
And to an unclean place.
Come on.
And when has they consulted what to do with the altar of burnt offerings, which was profane?
Right.
They thought it best to pull it down.
Right.
Lest it should be a reproach to them.
So they were holding council, saying, okay, what do we do with the altar, man? They were putting swine on that too. And they had a council. They got together. They said, man, better just get rid of it, man. Because it's going to be an abomination. People are going to keep remembering that somebody had swine on our altar. We can't clean this. Better we just pull it down and get rid of it and start erecting a new one. Read on.
Because the heathen had defiled it.
Right.
Wherefore they pulled it down and laid up the stones in the mountain of the temple in a convenient place.
Right.
Until there should come a prophet to show what should be done with them.
Come on.
Then they took whole stones according to the law and built a new altar according to the former, and made up the sanctuary and the things that were within the temple and hallowed the courts.
Come on.
They made also new holy vessels, and into the temple they brought the candlestick and the altar of burnt offerings.
All right, so what do they mean? The candlestick is referring to what? The menorah. Okay. That's when they brought the candlestick into the temple. They put the candlestick is talking about the menorah. How many branches on the menorah? 7 branches, correct? All right. So now, if you go to your local Walmart, right, and you see something like this, right, it's look like a little piano. So many of them buttons here. So this is off. Okay, it's supposed to be 7. You're gonna see this everywhere. All right, this is an abomination. All right, this is created by the devil that the Bible speaks of. All right, the synagogue of Satan, as the scriptures call it. Okay, they come up with this what they call a festive menorah. Right, for those at home. Right, that's the menorah. Right, this is not the candlestick that was in the temple. That is the candlestick that's in the temple. All right, that was always in the temple. It wasn't just for the Hanukkah. It stayed in the temple. But why it's significant is that we were reestablishing, relighting our menorah. So this is why the menorah is placed on high during this festive time of the year, because that's when we got a chance to light it again. We haven't lit it in so long. We haven't been in our temple in so long. The menorah hasn't been lit. So that's why it's that you light. You know, those of you that, you know, if you are decorating your homes or you're doing things in your homes for the Hanukkah, you would light the whole menorah for all 8 days. Okay, you're not gonna light 1 candle per day and all that kind of. That is, you know, that has nothing to do with the scriptures. All right, that's the traditions of man. Okay, you light the whole menorah for all 8 days. Everybody understand that? Okay. And you should be lighting your menorah at least on every Shabbat day. Anyway, you know what I mean? You light your menorah on the Shabbat day, right? To keep that, you know, just significant to what? The temple being open to service. Okay, read on.
And of incense on the table. Verse 50.
Come on.
And upon the altar they burned incense, and the lamps that were upon the candlestick they lit.
That's right. They what?
They lit it.
So that's why you see the menorah lit. Incense, frankincense, and myrrh, we got that burning. Okay, we also sell frankincense and myrrh in small packs if you have some at your house. Right? and we lit the menorah, right? Everybody should have a menorah in their home. If you don't have one, that's something you need to get, all right? Have a menorah in your home, so when it comes time, you can light it. Okay, read on.
That they might give light in the temple.
Right, that they might do what?
Give light in the temple.
Right, it was a symbolism to give light in the temple. Okay. Now I tell you, the menorah wasn't like this. The menorah was probably 10 times the size of this. This is a little, you know what I mean? This is a little toy menorah compared to what we had in the temple. When we had in the temple, somebody had to go up there, get the ladder, and light the menorah. It wasn't like this little menorah here. This is a representation of what we had. Okay. So you can get a mental picture of, this is a huge menorah. This is a little representation of that menorah. Read on.
Verse 51. Furthermore, they set the loaves upon the table,
right,
and spread out the veils and finished all the works,
come on,
which they had begun to make.
Come on.
Now on the 25th day of the 9th month,
right,
which is called the month of Caselu,
come on,
in the 148th year, they rose up bedtime in the morning,
come on,
and offered sacrifice according to the law upon the new altar of burnt offering, which they had made. What time and what day the heathen had profaned it.
Right, so they remembered that what? Look how long we was without, a temple. They thought about that. They really thought on those things. And today, you should reflect upon those things. Look how many years you was on this earth not knowing your nationality, not having a vision, not having a temple, not knowing where you're supposed to be, caught in different religions, different ideas, different ideologies, all right? A lot of us might have been in the world, thought the Bible was the white man's book or something, right? All these different ideas put in your head. Now you're coming back and saying, wow, I'm a Hebrew, okay? We've been taught so long we African, right? We're looking to Africa saying, well, what I'm supposed to be doing, right? Well, who in Africa represents us, right? But now you're a Hebrew. I'm not knowing that. But the Father, like He promised in the scriptures, has returned us to our spirit again. And then in that spirit, you are the temple. You're the temple now, right? You are the temple. The Most High dwelleth within you. You have to dedicate yourselves. You have to rededicate yourself every year to the Most High. All right.
Verse 54. Look at what time and what day the heathen had profaned it. Even in that was it dedicated with songs,
right, and
citherns, and harps, and cymbals,
right. So what? They play music. We're a musical people, okay? That's what we do. We get together. Where the music at? The music ain't going. Everybody looking at, wait the music. Where's the music? Right? We ain't gonna sit in here like a library. Right? We're gonna play some music, we're gonna enjoy ourselves, because this is what we do. That's in our spirit to be this way. Right? The Psalms, you read the Psalms, 90% of the Psalms were all songs. All the Psalms were songs. A few of them were prayers, but most of them were all songs unto the Most High. Okay? This is what we did. We sung. That's what music was created for. It was created to praise the Most High. Our instruments praise the Most High. The very sound that the instrument make was considered praise to the Most High. Okay, so you have to understand that music is very spiritual. Okay, and anything that's very spiritual, it can be used for good, and it can be used for evil. All right, it can inspire you to do what is right, and it can inspire you to do what is very wrong. Okay. This negative music that Esau pushes on our radio stations, he calls it black music, or the Negro radio station, 99 Jams, urban, they would have called urban. I don't know what an urb is. I don't know what urban is, but the reality is the Negro stations, right? 103.5, you know what I mean? That they pushing that Negro music, right? Right? I should call it black music, because y'all ain't black no more, right? Push that black music, people blacked out their mind. right? Pushing that sinful agenda. Okay, so we got to bring forth that music that's righteous, right? Bring the light back. Because that's what we did. We had citherns and harps and all this. What we were doing with these things, making music. Read on.
Then all the people fell upon their faces,
right?
Worshiping and praising the power of heaven.
Come on.
Who had given them good success.
Has given them what?
Good success.
Who has given them good success. They were so happy that they got the temple back that they fell down and worshiped the Most High. Right? Read on.
And so they kept the dedication of the altar 8 days.
How many days?
8 days.
How many days?
8 days.
And we are in the 8th day now. This is the 8th day. Read on.
And offered burnt offerings with gladness.
Right.
And sacrifice with sacrifice of deliverance and praise.
Come on.
They decked also the forefront of the temple with crowns of gold.
Right. And
with shields. And the gates and the chambers they renewed.
This is something we can look forward to next year. We didn't do it this year, but we should be. All these walls supposed to be decorated with shields, right? And swords and crowns, right? Because this is a glorious observance of victory, right? What we are celebrating is a victory over our enemies. Yah putting the strength in Judas Maccabees and those mighty men, all right, the Maccabees to what? Overthrow the enemy. And we got our temple back. This is what we're celebrating tonight. Read on.
And hang doors upon them.
Right.
Thus was there very great gladness among the people.
Right.
For that the reproach of the heathen was put away.
Right.
Moreover, Judas and his brethren with the whole congregation of Israel ordained that the days of the dedication of the altar should be kept in their season from year to year.
Right, and that's why we keep it now. It was ordained by these valiant brothers in the spirit of the Most High. The Most High was with them, and they ordained this day that it ought to be observed from year to year. So we to this day are keeping this feast. Come, read.
By the space of 8 days.
By the space of 8 days, read on.
From the 5 and 20th day of the month of Caslu.
Right, come on.
With mirth and gladness.
With what?
Mirth and gladness.
Mirth is laughter and gladness. Right, so we're going to enjoy ourselves. Come, read.
At that time also they built up the Mount Sion, right, with high walls and strong towers round about.
Right, read.
Lest the Gentiles should come and tread it down.
Right, so what they make sure after they built up their temple that they up the security around it. Right, to make sure they're ready. Because they know the heathen's going to come back and they'll be ready for them. Read on.
As they had done before.
Right.
And they set their garrison to keep it and fortified Bethua to preserve it, that the people might have a defense against Idumea.
Right, the people might have a defense against Idumea. Who's Idumea? Edom. Who's Edom? Who's Esau? There it is, man. We've been defending ourselves from him for how long now? All right. This is BC. That's how long we had a problem with the so-called white man. Right? Y'all think it's just started here in America. Oh, it started with slavery. If it wasn't for slavery, everything would be okay. No. We've been battling them since BC. Okay? We don't know the history. That's why we don't know. People could say and make statements because they don't know. They think everything was just fine, and then this one group of people decided to do slavery. And those group of people is gone now, so everything is fine again. That's nonsense. We've been battling Esau from the womb, from our very inception, from our very creation. We've been battling Esau. Esau been battling us, back and forth, for our whole time from the nation was created on the earth. So don't think for a second that we can all just get along. All right? That's a vain thought. That's a thought that comes about because you don't know history. Anybody says that, they don't know history. They don't know where we're coming from. You're not going to get along. All right? One of you got to give up your birthright. Okay? That's the only way we're going to get along. And in this day and age, those are our people that give up who they are. Right? and they become what they call what? You know, we call them Oreo cookies, right? Dark on the outside, cream filled, right? Right? Only difference between you and him is the color of your skin. Like people say, only difference between white man and black man is the color of their skin. I said, that's between you and them. That's you, right? Because you are just like them, right? I ain't like them at all. Bible says two manner of people will be separated from Rebecca's bowels. Not true? That's what the scriptures say. But we are not the same. All right. Thus saith the word of the Most High. But we know this biblically. We understand it. We accept it because it's of the Father, and we deal with it accordingly. Okay? And that's what makes you strong. That's what makes you aware. All right? So you can't get tricked and duped by a man that you already know cannot be trusted. Right? The scriptures say, trust not thy enemy. All right? That's instructions from the Most High. So you go ahead and trust him if you want. Right? But the Most High already told you, don't do it. Right? Don't do it. Don't come crying to him later. He told you don't do it. All right. So this is the understanding. This is why we gathered to enjoy with mirth and with gladness. Before we break and start to indulge in the mirth and gladness, I want to touch on something. Give me Ecclesiasticus, the 6th chapter and 7th verse. Very important that we understand something. And that's road coming back to keeping the commandments of the Most High Yah, right? We're going to entertain many different spirits, many different things going to come around. Okay? We have to be mindful. Okay? Read that, 6 and 7.
The book of Sirach, chapter 6, verse 7.
Read that.
If thou wouldest get a friend,
if thou would what?
Get a friend.
Read on.
Prove him first.
Do what?
Prove him first.
Listen. We have an open door policy here at the Light of Zion. Right? Any brother that's Israelite born, walk through that door. You know what I mean? But when they walk through that door, walking into what is called a proving ground. Okay? That's everybody. Okay. We are yet to see what, we're not fortune tellers here. We're not psychics, right? But in time, things manifest. Okay. This is the way the Most High set it up. So he said, before you call someone a friend, you prove them. Right? See what they're really about. See if they're really sincere. Right? See if they're on the same path and road that you're on when it comes to serving the Most High Yah. You might have some differences of scripture, what the case may be, and that can all be worked out, right? But what is in all of us is the spirit of truth. Okay, that dwells with everybody. Everybody got to be truthful. Everybody got to be honest. Scripture said we got to be honest one to another. Huh? That's what the scripture said. All right. If we're unable to do so, then we got a problem. Okay. And that problem, usually what the Most High does, will separate that person that can't be honest. They can't be truthful. Okay. Read on.
And be not hasty to credit him.
Right. And don't be hasty to, oh man, brother knows scriptures. Man, he's one of us. He died, that's it, right? Hold on. Slow down. Okay. We love our brother. Okay, hold that. Hold you at there and give me Peter's 2 and 17. First Peter's 2 and 17. Peter's 2 and 17. Got one too? All right.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 2, verse 17.
Come on.
Honor all men.
Do what?
Honor all men.
The Bible says to honor all men. We respect every man, woman that come through these doors. The word honor means to respect. We're going to show respect to everyone that comes through these doors. Right? We don't
love the brotherhood.
And we love to gather together in brotherhood. Right? What's brotherhood? This is a band of brothers and sisters that come together with a common goal. Right? With a common spirit. Read on.
Fear the Most High.
But we're going to fear, but most of all, we're going to fear the Most High. Read on.
Honor the king.
Honor the king, that's a Mashak Yahushua. Read on.
Servants, be subject to your masters.
Right.
With all fear.
Come on.
Not only to the good and gentle,
right,
but also to the froward. For this is thankworthy if a man for conscience toward the Most High endure grief, suffering wrongfully.
Right. So what's a master? How do you see that word master? They get the wrong idea. What is a master? Somebody what?
That's power.
That's power.
Leader.
A leader. Give me another word. What is a master?
Teacher.
A teacher. Why are they a teacher? Because they have what? Mastered a certain craft, a certain, understanding, and they now pass that understanding on to others. Right? When you to watch old days, you watch the what do they call it, driving movie with the karate movies, right? What do they call their teacher? They often call them master, right? Because that's saying that what? I'm learning what you know, right? I'm here to elevate my mind to what you know. Okay. When we say scriptures say be subject to their masters, that means what? Learn. Allow yourself to be taught. Learn what you're being taught. That's what it means to be subject onto it. When you go to school, you have what? Subjects, right? In your book, different subjects. Math is a subject. English is a subject. Reading is a subject. So you're learning these subjects. So you're learning. You're paying attention and you're learning. When you go to school, you gotta move in that same spirit. You might go to a job. You might have a supervisor or a mentor that's showing you how to do the job, right? That's that in that condition. That's your master. You got to show you how to do the job so that you know what to do. That doesn't mean that they have all control over everything that you do. All right. That word sometimes people see that and say you see master is telling you, oh, you got to be a slave. No, you got to twist it, right? That's not what it's talking about. Not in that context, right? Read on.
For what glory is it if when ye be buffeted for your faults?
When you be what?
Buffeted for your faults.
See this part? We'll go back one more verse. Go back a verse.
Oh my God, yeah, I missed it.
Yeah.
Verse 19. For this is thankworthy,
right,
if a man for conscience toward the Most High,
right,
endure grief.
Right, endure grief. Sometimes you'll go through certain situations. They might not want to go your way, but you endure it because why? You are subject to the mastery, and you're learning. All right, read on.
Suffering wrongfully.
Suffering wrongfully. Sometimes you might think you're right, but because of the situation, you got to take that loss. Take that loss, right? Read on.
For what glory is it,
right,
if when ye be buffeted for your faults, ye shall take it patiently. But when ye do well and suffer for it, right, ye take it patiently.
Right, come on.
This is acceptable with the Most High.
Right, this is acceptable with the Most High. Sometimes they didn't say, well, I'm gonna take low for the common good. Okay, that's all of the Most High. All right, showing the kind of spirit we're supposed to have. We're supposed to have that spirit of communion, coming together, and that's what. All right, we can deal with different topics, different subject situations in a righteous manner, but we got to make sure that we all in that same mentality. We building a nation. Okay?
Share a precept, because that happens in other nations. I'm going to share Revelations 18:4.
Commodities of the ways, right? Let me see what you had. You had it first. Yeah, give me that. Yeah.
The book of 1 John chapter 2, verse 19.
Right. We're going to get this verse first, but we're going to get there.
The book of 1 John chapter 2, verse 19. They went out from us, but they were not of us.
Hold on, read the verse before that.
Verse 18. Little children,
right,
it is the last time. And as ye have heard, that Antichrist,
that what?
Antichrist,
right,
shall come even now. There are many Antichrists, whereby we know that it is the last time.
So what do you mean by antichrist? What does that mean?
Christ.
What do you mean against Christ? Huh? How is somebody an antichrist?
Opposite.
Opposite, right? If the Messiah said go left, they would say go right, right? They would just do the things that's opposite. That's being anti-Mashiach. Meaning that the Mashiach gave us instruction. If you don't want to keep that instruction, then you're anti-Mashiach, right? You're anti-Christ. You're not going along with what Christ said. All right? He gave us instruction on how to deal as brothers and sisters. Okay? Throughout the scriptures. Okay? Preferring one another, taking low, listening to one another. You know, we just read one, honor all men through the spirit of the Messiah. All right? Read on.
Verse 19. They went out from us,
Right?
but they were not of us.
Right? Sometimes there's going to be some that don't want to follow these instruction from Christ. And they'll go out from us. And they'll go out from us because, you know what? They weren't one of us anyway. Right? Might look like us, might speak some of the same words, but you got to be prepared and have that thought pattern that what? You won't be knocked off or you won't be dismayed or moved when you see these things take place. Read on.
For if they had been of us,
Right?
they would have no doubt have continued with us.
Right?
But they went out that they might be manifest that they were not all of us.
Right. And when they go out, then you see sometimes what they are. Now, if they go out and they do great things in the name of the Most High Yah, well, then all praises be to the power of Heavenly Father, right? Because they don't have to do it here. All right. They can go out, start something new, and go to school or teach the people or do something righteous. And you know what? May the Most High bless them and keep them. But if they go out from us and they continue a life of wickedness, then you see, okay. Right? They were here, but they weren't really here. Right? Read on. That was it on that?
Yeah.
All right. So we got to have these type of understandings. So you might say, why are we going through all these scriptures, right? So, you know, just a brief, you know, the congregation on things that transpire. You know what I mean? We all got to know what happens. We're a small group. All right. We had a brother come in, right, break bread with us and start to commune with us, right? But then started to show a different colors, you know what I mean, right? And started to show that he has not yet been able to put on Christ, right? Not taking on the attributes, you know, not being honest, not being truthful, and all this stuff. They cannot be trusted, right? Now, you know, that brother, you know, some of you that's on the WhatsApp might have saw, you know, that the brother said he no longer with LOZ, what the case may be, you know, and that's a good thing, all right, because he's not ready to be amongst the brothers and the sisters, you know what I mean? And we can't have brothers and sisters here with ulterior motives. As elders and watchmen over our congregation, we need to vet everybody that's here, you know what I mean? It's part of it. Like the scriptures say, prove your friends. You know what I mean? Prove who you're going to call friend. All right? So, brother, you know, we call it, we gave a name David. I don't know if his name was something else, but we gave him the name David. And he was here for some time, maybe the last couple months or the case may be. Right? But he showed himself untrustworthy. Therefore, he will not be convocating with the Light of Zion. Now, we're not without mercy without any brother. You know what I mean? If he repent, we can go, right? But if he don't repent, then keep it moving. Okay? Because this is the way we have to deal, right? Because we have to protect the sanctity of when you come to these doors. Everybody understand that? Right? You can be in a place where you can look around and you can trust the people that's here. Right? And new people will come. And we're looking forward for new people to come. And in time, that trust will build even with the new people that come, right? And then they become part of the family. That's why families grow. All right, they come along and then they grow. But the way the Most High, you know, blessed be the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that He put that spirit out there to purge out any evil spirit that come amongst us, right? And it can't dwell. All right. So your intentions got to be pure towards the Most High to be amongst at least this camp. Huh? All right. So we had to purge that brother. He decided himself to purge himself, but he would get purged anyway. So it was kind of like, you resign before you get right. So yeah, you got a sword coming, as they say, right? So we understand. So anybody interact with the brother, it's on you. If you want to interact with him, it's on you. Understand you interact with him on your own will, right? Because as for this place, he is not to be in here. Everybody understand that? All right. Unless one of the elders, which is myself, Kahan, Lapalal, or Marshall, here, he is not to be in here. Everybody understand that? All right. I'm not saying to block the door, but I'm not saying to put him in the full Nelson, nothing like that. But just allow him to know that, listen, you can't be up in here. Till you go to council, till you repent and get yourself right, then we'll talk. Because you know what? We are physicians with this word. We know our people got issues when it comes to this truth. But we are here to cleanse you of those issues. We're not expecting everybody to be perfect in here. You have situations, issues, hang-ups, that's all good. As long as you're honest and communicate, we can work with you. No matter what it is, we'll work with you. Okay? But if you're not going to do that, then we can't work with you. All right? We can't suffer to have you amongst the family and you hiding and you dealing with all kind of madness in behind closed doors. But that all manifests. Things done in dark are brought to light, huh? That's what scripture said. So if you're doing things in darkness, it's going to be brought to light. And when it's brought to light, then we're going to have to deal with it according to the law, statute, commandments of the Heavenly Father. So let's go back to Ecclesiastes, the 6th chapter. Verse 7 again.
The book of Sirach, chapter 6, verse 7.
Read.
If thou wouldest get a friend,
right?
Prove him first.
Come on.
And be not hasty to credit him.
Come on.
For some man is a friend for his own occasion.
For his what?
For his own occasion.
And this is what happens. They see something they could capitalize on, and they'll befriend you because they want something. Right? I think everybody experienced that in their life, huh? Right? They be your best friend when you can do something for them. Right? The day you can't, then they show you what? Yeah, y'all nice. Read on. I'd say it a different way, but go ahead.
And will not abide in the day of thy trouble.
Right, but they will not abide in the day of thy trouble. So now when you need them, they know where to be found. Right? Read on.
And there is a friend who being turned to enmity and strife will discover thy reproach.
Right, so what? A friend being turned to enmity, now you're friends. You have an issue that what? Now you got what we call that? We call that beef. Right? Now you got beef with the person. They got beefing with you. They're holding a grudge against you. Right? You go from being a friend and now you're holding a grudge. That's stuff we do out in the world. That's not in the Most High. That's not in the Mashiach Yahushua. According to the commandments, we could hold no grudge against the children of Israel. Everybody understand that? Right. We are not allowed to hold a grudge. So if there's a grudge festering in you, you got to get it out of you. All right? Because that's sin in the eyes of the Most High. That's a mental sin to hold a grudge against somebody. All right? Read on.
Again, some friend is a companion at the table.
Right?
And will not continue in the day of thy affliction.
Right, but when you can't feed them, they got no time for you. Read on.
But in thy prosperity, he will be as thyself.
Right, in thy prosperity, he acting like he's you. Right, he using your credit card. Right, you know what I'm saying? He opening accounts in your name. Because in your prosperity, he gonna act like he almost you. You're like, damn, how much money you spend of my money? Right? Read on.
And will be bold over thy servants.
And be bold over your servants. Okay. Now he's ordering your people around. Like he's like, what is it called him a scrub back in the days? Right? The passenger side of my best friend ride, trying to holler at me. Right? So, right, all of a sudden, what he's flossing with what you have achieved, with the most I bless you with. All right, you got to be mindful of these type of spirits, right? You know, you got to be the scriptures. The scriptures that make you not only spiritually smart, it make you street smart, right? People that ain't street smart, they get taken, right? A couple of flattery words, and they think, man, it's all good. This person likes me, right? Right? I think he likes me because he gives you a couple of flattering words and make you feel good about yourself, right? But when you come into this truth, you got to be wiser than that. You got to see beyond that. You got to see, okay, what's the root of this person? What are they really dealing with? Okay, read on.
Verse 12. If thou be brought low, he will be against thee.
Right? He said he was your best friend. He was ordering your servants. You got low. You lost your money. You lost your stature. And he looking at you like you ain't nothing. Turn on you. Read on.
And will hide himself from thy face.
Come on.
From thy enemy.
Do what?
Separate thyself from thy enemy.
The scriptures say separate yourself from the enemy. Somebody make themselves an enemy to you, separate yourself. All right. Read on.
And take heed of thy friends.
And take heed of thy friends. Make sure that your friends are friends. We are here to build friendships that become family members. These are your brothers and sisters in this truth. Everybody understand that? This is that spiritual household that's written about in the scriptures. We take that responsibility, we take that responsibility very, very seriously here. And we all are here with the right, the same agenda to serve the Most High Yah, right? To learn, to grow in the spirit, all right? We're not up here as, we are lords over the flock. We look to the day that we come and sit down there and you teach me. Stay up. I get to sit down and take in one of your classes, right? That's what we building leaders, not cheerleaders. Everybody understand that? All right, so we got to build. But if somebody can't build with that, they can't roll with that spirit, they got to go. All right, read.
Verse 14. A faithful friend is a strong defense.
Right, a faithful man is a strong defense. Come on.
And he that hath found such a faithful friend is a strong defense.
Right.
And he that hath found such as one has found a treasure.
That's right. It's a treasure, man. To be here, to be unified in brotherhood, and you can depend on that brother. All right. There's a lot of brothers in here that I can call anytime. And I know they're going to pick up and we're going to, whatever we got to make happen, we're going to make it happen. All right. And they will, faithfully do what's best. And they can call me too. All right. That comes in time. Right? That comes in time. But what? That's what this is about. That's what we building here. Okay? That's what we building. Read on.
Nothing to contraveil a faithful friend.
Uh-huh.
And his excellency is invaluable.
Come on. Read on.
And they that fear the Most High shall find him.
That's right. A faithful life. Your life. It'll help you out through life, a faithful friend. Somebody to look out. Right? We look to be faithful friends to faithful friends. Everybody understand that? All right. So we got to be that way. That's the spirit here. All right. That's the spirit that the Most High is manifesting. We every year we do the Feast of Dedication, and the Most High brings us closer to what He wants us to be. Right? So this year we realize, and Most High bringing out that we're working on building those friendships. Right? We're working on the bonds that have to be built amongst the children of Israel. Right? And those bonds are set within honesty, integrity, right? Having that honor for all men, according to the scriptures. So that's what we're going to do. Come? All right. What verse you up to? What number is it?
17.
Read that 17 again. That's the last verse. Right, read it.
Verse 17. Whoso feareth the Most High shall direct his friendship aright.
Right. Who that fear the Most High will direct his friendship aright. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to direct all our friendships aright. Con? All right. So we're in the last day of the feast of the Chanukah. It was a blessed feast. We had a great opening day. We're going to have a great closing. Right? It was a good feast all the way through to dedicate, themselves and to take part. Like I said, the brothers took part in beautifying, the sanctuary. We got the TV back in effect. Hallelujah. Most High is gracious. All right, we didn't have it for a while, but we got it back. All praises for the feast dedication to the Most High. We got various dedications. We were able to get a computer, right? All right, that's also a blessing for the Most High. Hallelujah. All right. Most of you that if you wasn't here last week, when you walked in here, it's like you dove into the blue sea, right? Because we got the walls painted, right? All right, and it's a calm and it's a good color, right? So the Most High, blessing us on that as well. To send us brothers that would come and paint the place and build up the place. Right now, right? And we're going to continue to move forward. A lot has been done, right? Who's going to do it? We got to do it, huh? Right. We can't wait for somebody else to do it, right? There's nobody else ain't going to do it. This is our court, all right? The ball is in our court, so we got to build this. We're going to build it up towards Yah, and we're going to bless it. We're going to dedicate it year after year, all right? Whether it be here or the Most High blesses, so that we get our own buildings, right? I want us to move. Whatever His will is, we willing to go with it. Okay? We're willing to go wherever He takes us. All right? As long as it's built on sincerity and righteousness. So, with that being said, we're going to send the prayers, bless the food, and then we're going to dwell in brother and sister to enjoy the rest of this evening. Come? Hallelujah? Hallelujah. All right. Imagine Wapanya Yerushalayim, state of face Jerusalem. Hallelujah! 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 Who's the power? Who's the power? By Hashem? By Hashem? By Hashem? Kwam Yasharallah! Kwam Yasharallah! Barakatah Yahweh! By Hashem! Hamashiach! Yahushai! Hawa'ah! Dalanawa! Hakadash! Hakanakah, the water, Damyad, Babakushah, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Hamashiach, Yahushai, Barak, Mahakol, Nawa, Washadah, Nawa, Wayayan, Nawa, Wakazak, Shadah, Nawa, Babakushah. The power of Amos and Jacob was mercy truly endured forever. We thank Yahweh for giving us this piece of dedication. It truly was a blessing to dedicate the light of Zion to the Most High Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach, Yahushua. Yet again, another year. Continue to be with that little sanctuary. Continue to be with thy sons and thy daughters. Continue to build us up, continue to move us in the paths of righteousness for thy name's sake. Continue to wake up the children of Israel. Continue to use us to bring Yahweh again to thee. All this we ask in the name of thy Son, our King, Hamashiach Yahushua. Let all that have breath praise Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
Let all that have breath praise Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
Hashem Hamashiach Yahushua. What to God? Amen. The Most High has read out. In the mouth of babes, Yahweh perfected praise. In the mouth of babes, Yahweh perfected praise. In the mouth of babes, Yahweh perfected praise. Hallelujah. In the mouth of babes, Yahweh perfected praise. In the mouth of babes, Yahweh perfected praise. In the mouth of babes, Yahweh perfected praise.